Do you want to be engaging in your conversations? Ever wondered why some people capture the room's attention effortlessly, while others struggle to keep listeners interested? What if I told you there are some simple techniques to make your conversations engaging and impactful? Hi everyone, welcome to Fluency Goals. I am Mandeep, your English coach. In this video lesson today, we are going to learn how to make your conversations engaging. Stick to the end of this video because in today's lesson, you are going to learn some simple tips that can transform the way you communicate. Mastering these techniques will help you engage your listeners and make your conversations memorable, whether it's personal or professional. So let's jump into the lesson, shall we? Let's start with a common issue, that is filler words. Well, we all use them. Okay, actually, so, literally, like, basically. So these words creep into your speech without even you knowing. Whenever you feel stuck in the conversation, you tend to fill your conversations with these filler words. And the moment you overuse these filler words, you lose the impact in your conversations. Say somebody asks you your opinion on a topic that you are not very sure about, and you get into the mood of thinking. You are like, I think we should, basically, I think. So, there you use these filler words. So, most people they get into the habit of filling their conversation with these words like basically, like, and they don't even realize that they are using these filler words a number of times in their conversation, and it becomes a bit difficult for them to shed this habit of using these filler words. Now, what happens when you use so many filler words or the same filler word in the conversation so many times? It makes you look unprepared and unsure about your thoughts. You have to be clear and concise to get a clear response from the listener. So here's the tip how to avoid these filler words. Try to record your conversation, natural flow of conversation with somebody around whom you feel a bit uncomfortable. Or just simply do the conversation at home in front of a mirror, record it and listen to it. And you'll be able to recognize the pattern of your using those filler words again and again. So recognize the filler words that you are overusing. First of all, recognition is important. Recognition of the filler word that you tend to use. Now, whenever you feel the urge to use a filler word in your conversation, try to give a little pause, small pause. So, initially, it might become challenging and you have to instill it consciously in your conversations. Make yourself habitual to replacing that filler word with a silent in your mind. Let's say I have the habit of using like. Like the best fashion advice that you can give someone, like wear good clothes, like smell nice, and like. So instead of, repeating that filler word like so many times, whenever you have the urge, you can say, in your mind, you know, the greatest advice you can give someone, don't sound robotic though, you know, the greatest advice you can give someone is to wear nice clothes rather than follow fashion and smell nice. So we have simply replaced our habitual filler word with a silent in our mind. So try to do that. Practice it regularly and you see the improvement in the usage of filler words. So that was problem number 1 that we tackled here. Now let's see what is the problem number 2. Change your pace of speech. Pace of speech, the speed of talking. Often people mistake that speaking quickly is a sign of fluency. But that, my friends, is a mistake. Speaking swiftly can be a sign of nervousness and it can overwhelm your listener because the listener is listening to the words that you are saying, listening to your conversation, and trying to comprehend in his head. So, it's always a good idea to speak at a controlled pace. Don't be too slow in your speech, but don't be so fast in your speech also. So, speaking fast can make you sound rushed, like you are in too much hurry to just finish your thoughts, and it can also make you sound quite anxious and nervous. So, whenever you are speaking publicly, try to speak clear and at a controlled, slow pace of speech. Try it, it works. Listen to all those TED Talks. The people on stage, do they speak fast? No, they don't. Whenever they want to make an impact on their audience, they speak at a controlled tone of voice and at the controlled pace of speech. A controlled pace of speech can make you sound confident and in control of your conversations. A moderate pace, not too slow, not too fast, can help keep your listener engaged and sink in your conversation. So find a balanced pace that suits your natural style of speaking while keeping your listener's attention. Number 3, quickly trying to respond. So try to take a moment to answer important questions. So this generally happens in interviews or in meetings when we are put forth a very important question and which needs some pondering over, some thought over. But instead of letting the thoughts sink in our mind, letting them be organized, we try to respond too quickly. So don't rush to answer an important question. When you take a moment to answer the question, you are showing that you value the question and you are giving a thoughtful response. So instead of just an eerie silence, what can you say in such a situation? You can say, let me take a moment to contemplate on that. That's an interesting question. What is your favorite part of this course? Let me think. So, by saying these phrases, you can take a moment to pause and think over the question. Let's see an example dialogue where there are flaws in a conversation and applying these tips and improving our conversation. So, basically, I think we should start now because it's important. I think we should start now. It's important. I believe there are some reforms that are necessary in the current education system, and the education system needs to be changed at the grassroots level. Pause. Control the pace of your speech. I believe that the current education system needs reforms and we can bring improvement by making some changes at the grassroots level. See, just changing the pace of speech can make you sound more confident. And removing the filler words, it works wonders. Now, the number 4 point to improve your conversations is to practice extempore. Now, one of the best skills to improve your conversation skills is to practice extempore. This means speaking on a topic without any preparation. It helps you think on your feet and you become more comfortable with spontaneous speaking where there is no pre-preparation involved and you are actually trying to organize your ideas while you speak. The more you do it, the more confident you'll become speaking spontaneously. Now, what you can do is choose a random topic and talk about it for 1 or 2 minutes. Record your conversation and play it back to yourself to identify the areas of improvement. Are you repeating one word too many times? Are you using filler words or filler pauses like So try to work on those areas of improvement. First, begin with very easy topics, some topics on which you are quite familiar with and they come into your conversations every day. Eventually, move on to difficult topics. You can take the help of a friend or you can just simply record yourself. But if you give yourself the topic, you'll get time to think, right? So, better make it a topic, make some chits, already handy chits. So the day you are going to practice the extempore, just pick a chit so that you are not prepared with the thoughts in your mind already about that topic. Just pick the chit and try to speak on it for 1 or 2 minutes. So there you have it. Avoid the usage of filler words. Control the pace of your speech. Take moments to think, to answer important questions and practice extempore speech, you can become a very confident and impactful speaker in your conversations. If you like this video, do give a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done yet. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. I'll see you next week with another lesson. Till then, happy learning.